It's 10:30 p.m. Most Americans are getting ready for bed. Meanwhile, in Spain, families are just sitting down for dinner. Restaurants are packed, kids are running around, and nobody thinks this is weird. And here's the thing that blows people's minds. This isn't a special occasion. This is Tuesday. This is normal. In fact, eating dinner at 7 p.m. in Spain, that's basically having an afternoon snack. Today, we're uncovering why Spain runs on a completely different clock than the rest of the world, and why it's not about laziness or siestas. The real reason involves sunshine, Franco's dictatorship, and a work culture that might actually be healthier than ours. Let's dive in. First, let's break down a typical Spanish daily schedule, because it's wild compared to what most of us are used to. Morning starts normal enough. Desayuno, breakfast, is around 7 or 8 a.m., but it's light, just coffee and maybe a pastry, nothing heavy. Then around 11 a.m., there's almuerzo, a mid-morning snack, maybe a bocadillo sandwich at a cafe. But here's where it gets different. At 2 p.m., sometimes as late as 3, comes comida. This is the meal of the day, not dinner. Lunch. Multi-course, sit-down, family or friends, and it can easily last 2 to 3 hours. After this massive lunch, many businesses close for a few hours. This is the famous siesta time, though we'll come back to whether people actually nap. Then around 6 or 7 p.m., there's merienda, another small snack, usually coffee and something sweet. Finally, around 10 or even 11 p.m. comes cena, dinner, but it's lighter than lunch. Maybe tapas, a salad, something simple, because remember, you had your big meal at 2 p.m. So let's address the elephant in the room. Why? Why would an entire country eat 3 hours later than everyone else? Reason number one, Spain is really far west for its time zone, like absurdly far west. Spain should be in the same time zone as the UK and Portugal. They're at the same longitude. But in 1940, dictator Franco moved Spain's clocks forward 1 hour to align with Nazi Germany, and it never changed back. This means the sun in Spain is offset by about an hour from what the clock says. In summer, the sun doesn't set until 10 p.m. in some parts of Spain. At 9 p.m., it's still bright and sunny outside. Think about it from a Spanish perspective. The sun is still up at 9 p.m. It still feels like daytime. Your body is saying it's afternoon, not it's evening. Why would you eat dinner when it feels like 4 p.m.? Plus, Spain gets hot, like really hot. In summer, temperatures can hit 40 degrees Celsius. That's over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The middle of the day is brutal. So, historically, you'd avoid heavy work during the hottest hours and come alive when it finally cools down in the evening. Now, let's talk about the siesta, because here's what most people get wrong. Modern Spaniards don't actually nap every day. Siesta literally just means afternoon rest or break. For most modern Spaniards, especially in cities, this is when they have that long lunch, comida, with family or colleagues. Some might nap after eating, but most don't. But here's what's genius. Whether you nap or not, taking a long break in the middle of the day splits your workday in two. You're not grinding for 8 straight hours. You go to work, take a real break, then come back refreshed. Studies actually show this might be healthier. Our bodies naturally have an energy dip in the afternoon. That's why you get that 2 p.m. slump. Spain's schedule embraces this instead of fighting it with coffee and willpower. Maybe that's smarter. But there's something even more important than naps or work schedules: sobremesa. Sobremesa literally means over the table. It's the time spent lingering after a meal, talking, laughing, having another coffee or wine. It's not about the food anymore. It's about connection. In many cultures, restaurants want you out the door so the next customers can sit. In Spain, they'd never rush you. A meal is a social event, not just fuel. This is where relationships are built and maintained. This is why the Spanish schedule exists. It's not inefficient, it's prioritizing different values. Less productivity maybe, but more family time, more social connection, more actual living. Now, this traditional schedule is facing pressure. Globalization, EU business hours, and younger Spaniards are questioning whether the old ways still work. Some Spanish companies have started experimenting with continuous workdays, 9 to 5 with just a short lunch like the rest of Europe. The idea is you'd finish earlier and have your evenings free. But there's resistance. Many Spaniards say, sure, I'd get off work at 5 p.m., but the sun doesn't set until 10 p.m. What am I supposed to do? Eat dinner in bright daylight and go to bed while it's still sunny? And that's the thing. Without changing Spain's time zone back to where it should be geographically, good luck telling your circadian rhythm to ignore daylight. So what can we learn from Spain's schedule? Whether you think it's brilliant or backward, there's something valuable here. First, maybe we should question the idea that productivity is the highest value. Spain ranks high in life satisfaction and social cohesion, not because they work harder, but because they prioritize differently. Second, honoring our biology matters. That afternoon slump is real. Spain embraces it instead of fighting it with coffee and willpower. Maybe that's smarter. And third, maybe, just maybe, meals should be more than fuel stops. Sobremesa, that art of lingering over a table, creates bonds that rush dinners don't. So why do Spanish people eat dinner at 10 p.m.? Because Franco put them in the wrong time zone in 1940 and the sun resets ridiculously late, but also because they value long lunches with family, sobremesa with friends, and social connection over productivity. Is it perfect? No. Spain's debating changes for a reason, but it's not backward or lazy. It's a different answer to the question, what makes a good life? And honestly, their answer includes a lot more family dinners and a lot less rushing. Maybe we could learn something from that. So here's my question for you. If you could redesign your daily schedule from scratch, would you adopt any part of the Spanish model? The late dinners, the long lunches, the sobremesa? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more cultural deep dives like this, where we explore not just what cultures do differently, but why, subscribe to Curio Trads. We've got videos on Korean age hierarchy, Indian hand eating, and Japanese Valentine's Day chocolate, all designed to build understanding, not judgment. Next week, we look at why Finns are the happiest people but never smile. It's another paradox that actually makes perfect sense once you understand the culture. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay curious about how other people live. There's always a reason.